My God, it's real cool.
Yeah, the girls always say that.
That's the first thing you show them when they come over. Hey,
Yeah.
come check out my Bricklink garage.
How much of this am I going to have to cut out? Really?
Probably
Come
all
on.
of it, to be honest.
We're
most
already
of
going.
it.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Brick by Brick. I'm the special guest for today, Jacob, also known as Kiwi Modulars, and I'm joined by the wonderful hosts of this podcast. We've got Jason, Noah, and Richie. Let's get into it. I'm glad I didn't decide to go for having my parts collection as my background, because I'll just have 2 little tubs sitting on my table. You guys have entire walls behind you.
We are Bricklink sellers. It's the job's a little different, I suppose.
Oh, it is a little different, but yeah, that's it's quite amazing scene. So especially yours, Richie. My God, it's just so deep. It looks like an inventory of like a retail shop.
Well, it looks worse because it's in a small space, whereas Noah's got acres of, he's got an 8-car garage to use, whereas I've got a double bedroom.
I think it's the depth
car
for yours, Richie, that makes it look big. Yeah. My God, it's real cool.
Yeah, the girls always say that.
That's the first thing you show them when they come over. Hey, come check out my Bricklink garage.
How much of this am I going to have to cut out? Really?
Probably
Come on.
all of it, to be honest.
We're
most
already
of
going.
it.
Oh my gosh.
No.
No. No, it won't. It won't. It's no. It.
I'm kidding.
We'll.
I'm kidding.
I'll pick a start moment, and it will be. Yeah, I'm sure I'll pick some of it up for to clip it and use it and shake it over Richie's head and say, I'll put this out there, and he'll say, I don't care.
We love a bit of blackmail.
I usually say something inappropriate, so it's fine.
Well,
I don't even
that
need to
makes
say.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to
Gosh.
be sometime.
But you've got Lego watching over you, so you got to be
Lego.
careful.
Thank you for sending me this Lego. Please don't take it off me. Love you. We can get more into that if we want to. I'm an open book.
We will.
Please
We
do.
will. Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean,
Where should we start then? Should we start with that?
yeah. Let's start with that.
Okay. How and how?
How did I become a Lego ambassador?
Yeah.
I just applied. It's simple. It's really as simple as that. Literally anybody can go or type into Google Lego Ambassador Network, go to the link and hit apply. They don't really have a strict criteria as far as you need this many followers or you need to be doing these kind of numbers and stuff. Their main things are you've built yourself a unique community online and you're posting regularly, and it's Lego related and you're not talking about the other brands, or if you are, you're not talking about them as much as them. So I started making my Lego content, and I wasn't starting to make my Lego content with the sole intention of it turning into this. It was really just an experiment for me. I like making videos. I work doing video. I got back into Lego as an adult, and I thought, while watching Lego content, I was like, I could do this and use my skills as a videographer to make these videos. And then just tried it out, and people seemed to like it. And it got to a point where I was like, oh, I could apply for the ambassador thing. Didn't realize that it was such a loose criteria. I was like, oh, it's not as there's this and this that you have to follow. I was like, I'll just fill out the form. I spent a whole day filling out the form because there's a lot to go through, lots of very in-depth questions. And then 6 months later, I got the tick, and here I am.
Very nice. So what was
Mate.
sort of the point for you to get back into Lego then as an adult?
So I was into Lego as a kid, like most of us probably were. I'm assuming you guys were all fans of Lego as a kid.
Of course.
Yes, that's what we love to hear. But it's okay. It's also okay to get into it as an adult as well. That's absolutely fine. But yes, no, I grew up with Lego as a kid. Had lots of like Knights Kingdoms and the Lego Agents and stuff like that. The old SpongeBob stuff. As I went into high school, also probably like most of us, fell out of love with Lego, the Dark Ages as they call it, and then I was when I had my first real job, working full time in retail. I had adult money. Well, I was 19. I had adult money, and I bought the UCS Death Star, or the Collector's Series Death Star, the one with all the minifigures and stuff, for like a Black Friday sale. I was like, oh yeah, these are like the big sets that I couldn't afford when I was like a kid, and now I can do it. Hell yeah. And then a couple years later is when they released the Daily Bugle, that one. I remember I bought that as like a late Christmas present for myself. And I had that and the Death Star sitting next to each other. And I was pretty happy with that. I wasn't like I need to collect more Lego. It wasn't for like another year that I went to at the time, the only Lego store in New Zealand, which is in Auckland. There's now three New Zealand Lego stores, but this was the only one at the time. I went to that store, and that's when I saw these amazing things called modular buildings. And that is when I truly fell into the trap and became the Lego lover that I am now. It was the Boutique Hotel. You can't see it, but it's down there. I saw that on display at the Lego store. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And when I got back home from this trip, I bought that. And then a couple weeks later, I had bought Assembly Square and the Corner Garage, and I think the Diner. And it just continued to go from there. So we can really thank the Lego Modulars for getting me back into it.
Very nice.
Big fan of the modulars.
Yeah, do you think so?
Yeah, no, I love them. I think they're such a long build as well. That's one of the good things about them.
Yeah. You can really take your time with them. And there's just so many fun details hidden within them as well. I think that's what I really like about them the most, is you've got this really nice fully enclosed building, and then this interior is just, fully detailed. Half the time you don't even see it, but you just know that behind those masonry bricks is a really cool little story being told.
We know Richie loves his masonry bricks.
Oh,
love
really?
A masonry brick. Yeah, it can't be a masonry brick. Jason's got an import of them coming.
I've somehow convinced my wife. She was in the shop in Forsan and Guangzhou, and she's sending me a message going, hey, they've got these display sets. Do you want them? I was like, yes. And then she's like, oh, and there's a big box of these. And she described, she's like, bricks. And I'm like, cool.
Bricks.
Like, narrows it down a little bit.
She's invested in the business.
And then she sent me in, and I was like, yes, all of them, please. So, yeah, she's bringing them back. And Egerton NZ, shout out to her, is taking a few of them, and the rest will be somewhere in here.
Cool. That's so exciting. How many? Like, are we talking hundreds, thousands?
I feel like over 1,000, but I have no idea. They just literally had like a box. They're like, "Do you want the box?" And I was like, "Yes."
Oh my god, that is
yeah.
so cool.
It's a really cool store, and the people recognize me. I don't know whether it's because like I was the only white guy walking in, but he as the person that was coming in, and oh yes, we know it's him. We're gonna sell him lots.
This guy will buy all of our masonry bricks.
Yeah, so they even recognized my daughter from last time we were there as well.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Nice.
I know, just making her spend all of my money. So hey,
shout out to the daughter.
Yeah,
I think masonry bricks are probably my favorite brick too. I got to be honest. Like the SIT complex up there and the detective's office, those are both very heavily masonry bricked, and I love them. They're like two of my favorite builds purely for the masonry brick.
It's a nice aesthetic.
Yeah, something about them. It's just my brain right. It's like, oh, this is good.
I'm interested to know, given that you are now in the Ambassador Network, do you still buy sets though?
Oh yeah. It's interesting, right? Because there's some ambassadors who will get or ask for every set, basically, and then they're stuck for months filming and reviewing this backlog of stuff. I'm really picky in particular with which sets that I actually accept when they offer them to me. It's got to be a set that I know I can like make content with, or something that I am actually interested in. Like this was a no-brainer for the classic spaceman, and this build itself looks really cool. And also like the recent Pixar lamp as well. I'm a huge Pixar fan, loved Pixar all my life, so it's a no-brainer to have something really iconic like that sent to me. But no, I'll still be going down to the Lego store to pick up sets every month. You know, like I always say, I get paid every fortnight, I pay my bills, and then I buy Lego, as we all do.
So how does that work? Do you request sets from Lego?
So with all the new sets that come out, no, they don't. I don't request them, but when you sign up or when you get approved, you tick a list of themes basically, and you say like, these themes, you know, what would you say? Offer them to me, and then there's a list of, I don't mind being offered these. Sure, if there's like a free space, offer them to me, and then there's a, do not offer me these sets because you're wasting your time, basically. So top of the list for me is modulars, which falls under icons now, and then there's ideas. Can't remember the rest. Creator, I think I've also got that on there. A few miscellaneous ones, but then on my do not send me list is like Mario and Star Wars, because I love Star Wars, but I'd rather just go buy the sets I want. And also the Lego Star Wars scene is a bit scary to do reviews, and I'm a bit scared of the fan base. They're a bit scary, so I'll just steer clear of them. And Mario I have no interest in, so that's why. No offense if anyone's a Mario fan.
Is anybody?
I'm sure there must be someone out there if they keep making the sets.
It's confusing. Is it a game or is it a build? What is it? Doesn't work.
When they make Mario minifigures, then I will be interested. I did think the yellow cube, it was cool. I did buy that. I must admit, I did buy that because it looks like a cool display piece. But the actual play sets, no, not really my cup of tea.
What it is a part out. That's what it is, Ricky.
I was about to say,
Bingo.
the only thing that stayed from the Mario sets is this one here. Everything else is
Are you parting them out right now?
No, this is the only thing that's made it onto the desk. And it's just saying, like, they're just, yeah, I don't really get the tiles that you're taking photo. It's too complicated. Like,
that's hilarious.
Just let me build Lego, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a good quote there. Lego Mario, made for parting out since 2016 or something.
It feels like it needs to be in that Italian accent. Like, hey, it's Parts Out Mario.
Parts Out Mario.
You can do it with a touch.
That's the one.
Wahoo! I think that's his quote. God. Not really, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Before I start doing more Italian accents. I am Italian, by the way, so it's okay.
So you're talking about the mocks and stuff that you've got behind you, like the sit complex. I know there's one that we've talked about. I think did I send parts to you for that? Maybe, or maybe you've done that already.
No, I had built the sit complex before Kiwi Brick Exchange came on the scene. It was probably the office you sent me stuff for, though.
Oh, office, that's right. Yeah. So in terms of like mocks and stuff, is there any particular like designer that you go and look at, or favorite mock creator? Do your own? That's sort of what I was thinking.
I wish I could do. I wish I was a mock designer. I wish I was as creative as these people who design and mock things up. Well, actually, in saying that, just the other day, I did design my first thing in the Studio app for my classic spacemen. I basically just took the Everyone is Awesome set and rejigged it a bit to fit all these colors on it and build it. Because not all the parts from that original set are available in all these colors, so I had to find parts that were available in all these colors and rebuild it that way. So I guess I am a mock designer now, or I've designed my own set as of a week ago. So wahoo! But no, I don't do it on the regular. I will leave it up to other people on Rebrickable. I think the designer that I definitely go to the most, or at least look at his stuff the most and admire, is Brick Artisan, and he designed the sit complex and the office, and quite a few on this shelf actually. A handful of his designs are on the shelf behind me, and he is so talented. He just knows how to take a set that isn't even a modular or a building for that matter and turn it into one. It's pretty clever.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sit complex and the office are just very, very cool designs. So
they're iconic. Honestly, the office was quite a long time coming for me. They're both very expensive mocks, because it is, you know, a small set and then a lot of parts, basically. You definitely couldn't just buy the set and build one of those sets. You definitely need a lot of parts. It was, yeah, couple thousand, probably, no, 1,000 each. So a couple thousand total for both of those, just in parts alone, which was a lot, but it paid off for the content, thankfully. Everyone enjoyed it.
How often do you do content?
It really, so sorry, I just had a mind blank there. So I'm a videographer full time. That's my full time job that pays the bills and pays for all this Lego behind me. So I make videos during the day, and not every day I want to come home and then make more videos. So I'm really only making videos when I have an idea or I'm feeling inspired. I don't really put a lot of pressure on myself to make content for the sake of making content, which I think a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of people fall into the trap of, but there is this kind of pressure sometimes that I think people feel of like, oh, I need to be posting every week, or I need to be posting every day, to otherwise I'll fall off, or people won't watch me anymore. I'm really just doing it. I want to try and keep it as fun as possible and not take it too seriously. Like, it isn't my job. It's just a fun thing I get to do on the side, and it keeps my creativity flowing. So I try not to make it feel like work. So to answer your question, I'm really only making ideas when I'm making videos when I have ideas or feeling creative. So that could be every couple of weeks. That could be, I think I went a month without making anything, but I was in the middle of moving house. So I didn't want to force myself to get this all set up just to make content again. I really waited it out to make sure I was ready and the setup was ready.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense.
On the topic of back to the when you were buying your parts for the beautiful sitcom apartment building, it's stunning. I gotta say, I don't do much with Lego personally anymore, which is unfortunate. I've still got some stuff tucked away, but when I saw that come out a few years back, it piqued my interest. But so you would have shopped on Bricklink or Brickowl to buy those parts? I'm guessing?
It was solely a Bricklink job. It was the first, or maybe the second time I'd ever used Bricklink, because I had got it back into Lego. So let's put the timeline. In July is when I discovered modulars and started building them, and then it was in December of that year, this is 2022, that I was like, all right, I'm gonna build this. I just started making content. I was like, oh, let's do something really big to kick this thing off. Let's build the sit complex. The only time I'd used Bricklink prior to that was to build like a display stand for one of my little Jedi Starship Interceptors, little Obi-Wan Starfighter. I built a little stand to display that. I was like, oh, just to get my ropes around Bricklink. I was like, okay, that was easy. Now let's do it for something with thousands of pieces instead. That was definitely interesting. I managed to find all the pieces I needed from New Zealand sellers, which was a relief. I didn't have to look overseas. But yeah, it was a purely Bricklink, purely New Zealand sellers. So shout out to all of you.
Good on you, Jason.
Oh, we're just sorting from it out, and I guess that's the thing, is there's such a good Lego community here that we do seem to have most of the parts. There maybe just isn't sort of that bulk quantity for the larger builds, which Richie seems to be taking everyone from New Zealand for those anyway. So
yeah, I think I've only ever I've only ever bought overseas twice, and the first time I did that was for the office. A good chunk of the pieces just weren't available, and it was cheaper for me to buy in bulk from one or two sellers. I think they must have been in Asia, Thailand maybe, and
bloody DD Bricks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was DD Bricks. I'm sorry, guys. I bought from them. He had almost everything I needed, and it was cheaper to go through him rather than buying from like 20 different sellers in New Zealand. I was like, all right, I'll bite the bullet. And it was worth it. It shipped really quickly, though. I was like, oh my God, that ships quicker than some stuff from around New Zealand. I was like, he's onto it. He's not mucking around.
Yeah, they've got a good team with them. I think they're almost at 100 people now. So they've got a sizable operation.
Bloody okay, that makes a lot of sense. See, here's me thinking, when I think of Bricklink sellers, I'm just thinking of individuals like you three, sorry. You three. And wow, 100 people working on a Bricklink store is crazy.
Yeah.
Noah's got an army. don't believe the hype. He's got about 20 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've acquired a few people along the way.
Good on you.
Since doing the apartment complex, have you placed many Bricklink orders since? Do you use Bricklink a lot?
Yeah, I'm using it quite often. Definitely haven't used it as much recently. I did recently order the parts for the display I made for my classic spacemen. So I've got 5 out of 8 packages have arrived. Hopefully the rest arrive on Monday or Tuesday. I haven't. You mentioned Brickowl before. I have never used Brickowl. I've only ever used Bricklink. Is there any benefits to Brickowl, or is it just an alternative? Give me the selling pitch.
Well, I know that Brickowl does an integration with Rebrickable, so you can shop based. I've never done it before, but as I don't buy a lot for myself, but I know that they do some kind of integration. So people who are making mocks, and you mentioned Rebrickable, so I'm like, oh, maybe you've done a little bit on Brickowl, but it is just an alternative, I suppose. Smaller kind of audience, but still considerable sales. It's worth it for Bricklink sellers to be on there.
And UK based as well, isn't it? So I think that's, part of the maybe just not well known enough. But then there seems to be a number of people that buy just very random things. I know, everyone has their own things, but just like a couple of friends' parts and then like a Star Wars fig, or I just get the weirdest orders, which is always interesting for me coming through Brickowl. But it does seem to be.
These people in New Zealand buying those, or are they people overseas?
Yeah, I shipped to New Zealand for Brickowl, and even signing up for Brickowl to start with was just to make sure that I had a backup if Bricklink suddenly disappeared, which we all had happened. So,
oh my god, it did too, didn't it? Yeah, it shut down for a while, right? Because of the hack or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, how was that for you guys? I know that you might have talked about it already, but my god. We won't talk about it?
No, it's fine. But yeah, I guess that was kind of something I was thinking about as well. Like when you're going and buying on Bricklink, and we've got, I guess, a number of Bricklink sellers that listen to this, what's the actual process? Because it's kind of, you get to the point where you're sitting there as a Bricklink seller and you're like, how are people actually placing this order from me? Are you going to particular sellers? Are you sort of buying, from someone that is going to ship quickly? What's sort of the process that you do?
So I am scared I'm going to be judged for this, because I guess everyone has a different way of doing their Bricklink stuff. But maybe I do it the normal way. I'm not sure what is normal. Most of the time I'm only buying on Rebrickable when I'm doing a mock. So let's say the sit complex. I got the instructions off Rebrickable. I downloaded the XML. I upload it into a new wanted list, and then from the wanted list, I hit the buy all, select New Zealand, and then it auto finds the sellers, and then it spits out who's got them, and it might be like 5 or 10 different sellers, and then I create cart.
Nice.
The only time I'll make
my kind of buyer.
Yeah. Hey. Well, there we go. Cool. The only time I will make adjustments is like, oh, I'm only getting one piece from this seller. I'm not paying 50 cents and then $5 shipping. So let me see if one of these other sellers that has a bigger dollar value has this piece or something similar, and then I will manually go and search through these stores. Or if worse comes to worse and I can only get these one or two pieces from this one seller, I'll just go into their store and buy a minifigure or 2 or 3 to make the purchase worth it.
I'm just going to go back to Bricklink a second. The only difference is now the guest checkout. So you don't have to be a logged in member.
Oh,
since they changed that linkage, because they're both linked to Rebrickable, Bricklink and Brickowl, but you don't have to sign up. So since September, was it last year? Something like that. They changed that, and that I think has perhaps changed the trajectory a little bit for Brickowl in terms of people entering and not having to be a member and sign up and give details, because they can just play with Stripe credit card, and you don't have to link your PayPal and all of that jazz. It does give them that in and out, which maybe people like that. I mean, nobody we've ever spoken to, I think, has ever said the interface is nice.
Yeah, it was a bit scary getting onto Bricklink at first, just because it's such a foreign concept to be buying just Lego from, and it's almost acting like eBay, or in New Zealand we have Trade Me. But But it was really cool to discover that that was such a that place existed. I only ever found out about it because I wanted to build the set complex, and someone said like, "Oh, use Bricklink for the parts." I'm like, "Oh, what's Bricklink? Look it up." Oh my gosh, this is the unlimited power right here. It was crazy.
But I think that's the way that you were going about buying as well is definitely, I think, the way that the three of us at least are seeing that most people would buy. They'd go into their wanted lists, possibly through Rebrickable to create it or whatever. And they are looking, like you're saying, for that big variety of who has all of the different lots, not who's going to get the cheapest. It's who's got all the pieces in one go, because you don't want to be spending, like you're saying, multiple shipping costs. And I guess that's good for people who are trying to get a good lot type, like I guess the three of us are, in terms of that's how people are mostly buying. Although I do find that there's some people who just seem to, they're buying the same sort of stuff from certain stores. I think for us, at least where we are in Wellington, it's a lot of sort of local pickup. And I guess, again, that's probably, I'm saving some money on shipping. They've got the parts. I might be spending maybe, 50 cents or $1 more than the dirt cheap on the website, but at least I can go and pick up, or it's a bit more local.
If I was still in Wellington, Jason, I would definitely be utilizing that click and collect a lot. Sadly, I moved 9 hours up the country, so I can't do that. But you betcha I'd be doing that if I was there.
Thank you.
I'm interested to know now. So you've got your 8 packages coming. They're going to be packaged differently. Like, what is your preference? Do you like it sorted by type of part, all heaped in together because you like to sort it? Do you like it wrapped in somebody's cereal box in a bit of bubble wrap, sellotaped up like it's 17 grams of Coke? What?
Well, I tell you what, the package I got from DD Bricks definitely looked like a brick of Coke or something. Oh my god, it looked so dodgy. The way it was battered and ripped up. It obviously has come halfway across the world, but I was like, wow, thank God this is only Lego. I'm sure they scan that through customs and like, okay, it's just plastic bricks. It's fine. Wave it along. That's a really good question. I actually haven't opened some of these packages, and I can already see that there's some different ways that they've packaged them. I'm not going to reveal my address, but this one here, I can feel it. It feels like it's in like a plastic tub. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a plastic round tub, and nothing's moving when I shake it. So either I've just got scammed and there's nothing in there and it's just plastic, or it's wrapped really well. But
someone just in a part out container.
Yeah, they put an empty container in there. But that's the first time I've seen that before. I've seen some sellers, they have, I don't know, I'm going to be terrible at explaining this. It's like almost like the parts are vacuum sealed. And you've got like, and they're in like different slots, and it's like a grid. That's really cool, and I really like how it's sorted like that. At the end of the day, for me, I end up sorting the parts into my own bins anyway. So I always appreciate really good packaging, but it's all just going to go into a big pile to then be sorted by myself anyway. But I do appreciate the effort that people go to package it nicely and take the care. So those grid little vacuum seal ones are cool. A tub is interesting. That points for creativity there.
Nothing's getting damaged.
Yeah, nothing's getting damaged there. Yeah, this is my first Bricklink order in a while, so I'm actually having a bit of a mind blank as to how things normally come packaged. But I know Jason does a good job at packaging and stuff, and I have got like 5 or 6 of his little cards that say like, "Thanks for buying from me."
Just get them out everywhere. Just
Yeah. Promo everywhere.
Spread them out while walking down the street. And
never misses a chance to promote.
No, advertising's important, I guess.
Business cards, it's just what we do, eh?
I love it. That's cool. Yeah, maybe I should start doing that as well. Subscribe.
I want to take a complete left field, just come out, let's like change 360 directions out of Bricklink and ask you something that I'm sure all three of us are really interested to know. Seeing that all three of us are now on YouTube and we're doing this podcast for ourselves, really, not for anything else. Do you have any secrets for building an online audience?
How to build an online audience. So when I started this YouTube channel, this was really I said it earlier, I'll say it again. This was an experiment for me. I just wanted to make YouTube videos and see where the algorithm took it. I used to make YouTube videos when I was in high school. I used to like just do stupid comedy skits and embarrass myself. I used to like dress up as my mom and my cousins and stuff. It was real weird stuff. But as a kid, that was fun for me. It was a great way for me to learn the skills that is now my job. Crazy to think about that. But I always wanted to get back into YouTube again. I gave up that years ago, and I really wanted to just get back into making YouTube videos, but really find a niche. And Lego landed on my lap as I was watching Lego content and collecting all this Lego behind me. I was like, I can make content and focus it on Lego. So I just did that, and I've just been myself, really. I think definitely, I wouldn't say it's a secret, but it's definitely a good thing just to be yourself and like be your own personality. So having a face to the content is really good. So people will see your face in the videos or your face in the thumbnail, know, oh, that's a Jacob video, that's a Jason video, that's a Richie video, etc. So that helps. As they say, a niche is important. You don't always have to have a niche. Like, I mean, we're all Lego creators. Obviously, Jason, Richie, Noah, you're all Bricklink creators. And I've definitely heavily focused on modulars, but it's Lego as a whole. Sometimes you can just get away with having a good personality and not have a specific focus. People have just subscribed for your personality. But yeah, definitely having that face and a niche helps. And at the end of the day, you know, if you make entertaining content, well, people will come back. Yeah, that's what I got.
Good.
That's a good answer.
That's my yapper of an answer. Hope there was something in there.
No, I think that's like what, you know, we get some interesting comments sometimes of, oh, you're just doing this for the clicks. And you're like, well, yes. But like we said in the last pod, there's much better ways to get famous and, you know, well-known and focusing on very specific niches, like you're saying. So, yeah, I think there's definitely a community that likes watching Bricklink things, and there's a community that likes modulars, and it's just, yeah, like you're saying, the people are looking for, I think, authenticity with it. They're not just looking for, you know, there's enough clickbaity rubbish on YouTube out there that if someone wants to go watch it, they can. But I think,
yeah, I mean, there's plenty of creators who make Lego content too that are more like the Mr. Beast style. You say hyper edited, definitely focusing more closer towards like kids, or they call it like brain rot content, I guess. There's plenty of that on there, but then you know, obviously amongst all this is the genuine creators like ourselves who have a personality and of, you know, providing some educational stuff like you guys.
Yeah, you say creator. I don't know if we can call us three creators. Comparing us to you, it's like you're Elvis Presley and we're, I don't even know. Don't.
Hey, I don't know how to set up a Bricklink store, so you guys are miles ahead of me in that regard. And hey, you have YouTube channels. You all have YouTube channels with an audience, and you all regularly upload. I would say you guys are creators.
I think it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because kind of certainly in the Lego Ambassador Network, there are so many kind of, like, I'm just going to say it, they get right on your tits after a very short while. It's just so sickly sweet. It feels really forced and unauthentic, and you kind of feel like it's very kind of forced down your neck, like it's an absolute dog of a set, and they're going, it's amazing. I mean, how much influence does the Lego group try and have over what you're doing?
They don't really have any influence, if I'm being honest. Like, at least that's my perspective. I would say I'm a very casual LAN member. Like, it's not my job full time. Like, there are some ambassadors whose full-time job is making content, so they're constantly pumping out content and like first to put out the release embargo reveals and stuff like that. I actually have stopped doing reveal embargo things altogether, because I'm just one of like 20 to 30 others on people's feeds seeing the same thing. Unless it's like a set that I've got genuine passion for, I'll kind of just wait to then put out something that isn't just a box and a photo. But yeah, no, as far as their influence, not really. There's obviously rules we have to follow. Like, we can't absolutely shit on a set and say this is the worst thing ever, do not buy this. Well, maybe not do not buy this, you can recommend not to buy it, I guess, but you can't put it in a completely negative light. You can be critical, like you can say you can criticism is fair. We're allowed to have criticism, right? And say this isn't that good, or maybe they could do this differently to it. But that's again for myself. I'm only really picking up the sets that look interesting to, or accepting the sets that look interesting to me and I'm excited about. So I feel like in all my content that I make, I would feel, or at least come across as excited and passionate because it is a set that I'm genuinely interested in. But also I'm not making review content either. So I really have trying to, how do I word this? I'm not making review content because I don't want to be like, this set's amazing or this set's not that good. I'm just trying to find a different angle for the content using this set, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like with the Pixar lamp, for example, like there's another 5 or 10 videos out there reviewing this Pixar lamp. I didn't want to just make a review about it. I wanted to make a video solely focusing on the hidden references within the set. So that way I'm not talking about, this set is amazing or this set's not good. I'm just telling you what's going on in the set, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think sorry, I was just like creating like a story around it as well. And I think like that's something I think we were chatting about one time with like the Fortnite reveal that you did. Is like you're like, oh, that was just a lot of fun. So it comes across in the videos and it's that authenticity of you're enjoying yourself. People can tell you're enjoying yourself. So then they're enjoying themselves because they're watching enjoyable content. And that's how you build a community. Like that's I think the best way to go about it. And that's something that I was chatting with Noah and Richie about later. Like when you're doing content and it's like you actually want to be doing it because you're enjoying it. And if it stops becoming that, then you need to change what you're doing. And that's why Bricklink's fun because there's always something different that you're doing. You're parting out something or you're doing this. Oh, I can record this now. Oh my goodness, I've got these like 5 tiny flower pieces and they're $5 each. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. When
you get deals like that must be pretty exciting. Yeah, I definitely have. That's how I sort of sold myself to Lego. Not sold myself. So I've sold my soul to Lego. That's how I pitched myself to them for the ambassador program. Right, as I'm the little guy from New Zealand who knows how to make videos and high quality videos, and I've really liked to try to keep that up, which is also why I, I'm only making content when I feel like it, and I really do take my time with producing it all. Yeah. So I'm definitely trying to find a different angle to how everyone else is doing it, because a lot, like you said, Richie, a lot of the stuff you will see is very repetitive, and you're swiping through Instagram, you see one thing and you see the same thing again, and I understand that. Like everyone wants to be the first to release it, but also every ambassador doesn't always have the same followers. So I mean, I follow all the LAN ambassadors, so I know on embargo reveal day I'm going to see the same video a few times, and I'll watch them and see what's different. A lot of them are repetitive, but I know that one person watching this might not follow the other person, so they all kind of have to do it just in case someone's not following the other person, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I see it from their perspective, but I can also see it from your perspective and someone else's perspective when they're scrolling Instagram and they see the same thing a million times. It's like, oh my God, I get it.
I don't know which one he is, but he always posts a video of the box and then tells you he can't show you what's in the box. Just do one.
Yeah, it's the tease and the excitement and the hype around it, right? Because some people really dig that stuff. Some people really dig that. They're like, "Ooh, I wonder what it's going to be." But then some people, like yourself, obviously, Rich, you can see straight through, and you're like, "Oh my God, this is just a waste of time. Show me what's in the box. What's in the box, man?"
We know it's a Lego set.
Yeah. Oh, what Lego set though? That's what we all want to know. Yeah. So yeah. Some of it is forced, but then again, everyone has different audiences. Like some of the Lego ambassadors definitely target the teens and like you're 14 to 16, and then some of them definitely have more of a mature audience, like 18 plus or 25 plus. So yeah, I guess every ambassador, every Lego creator, this is really for Lego content in general. Everyone's got a different audience that they're appealing to, right? So not everyone is for everybody. Yeah. There's a few Lego content creators out there. There's one in particular, I'm not going to name them, that they, I feel like they've literally just got into it because of, I don't know, maybe they saw it was as an opportunity just to grow a following online. Like they're not actually genuinely into Lego. But they're not an ambassador, by the way. This is no one in the land. This is just external. I feel like their content feels very forced as they're just done some research and like, oh, everyone's making Lego content. Let's make Lego content and just exploit it and spend lots of money because we're entrepreneurs and have the money to splurge and make ourselves look really cool.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that kind of feels like a stab in the chest because there's people who are generally putting in lots of hard work and effort into making content and are passionate about it, and then these guys come along and they're like, all right, let's just we're gonna do a giveaway when we hit 20,000 followers, and they blow up and get all these followers, and then it just doesn't sit right with me.
Do all the Lego ambassadors like have a group chat? Do you guys talk amongst yourselves? Like, I mean, as Bricklink sellers, I find that a lot of, at least now, we're trying to talk more and we're trying to be more involved as a seller community. Do you guys have that?
I'm not in any group chats with any of them. I'm the only one in New Zealand, so I'm kind of like, oh, that's a lie, actually. I have a group chat with two of the Australian ones. I'm in a group chat with King Katie's and Cheap Jokes, so Andrew and Katie. They're great. They're two of my favorites. They're two of my good friends. We have that common fact of being on the side of the world with only a 3-hour time zone difference, not a 24-hour time zone difference, so that helps. But I'm definitely connected with a handful of the Lego ambassadors, and I don't regularly chat to them. Katie and Andrew are probably the ones I chat to the most, but the odd message I might reply to a story or comment on a video of theirs and whatnot. But yeah, no group chat for me. I think over in America, where a lot of them are a lot closer to each other, they might be in a group chat or at least have a lot closer comms because they go to a lot of conventions together or doing a lot of collabs because they're all a state apart or they're in the same state or something. So it's a little harder being over here in New Zealand. But one day I do want to make my way over to the States just to go to a convention and try and meet a good handful of them that I've connected with online, and I'll be like, hey, it's nice to meet you face to face.
You might get mobbed because Noah gets spotted in the street quite a lot. So I'm sure you can't go into the Lego store without getting people going.
You know what? The first time I'm saying this as humbly as possible, I don't get recognized very often. I've been recognized a handful of times and they've always been Lego related. But the first time I got recognized wasn't even in New Zealand. It was in Melbourne at the Lego store. One of the employees recognized me and he's like, welcome from New Zealand. I'm like, oh, hello. It actually shook me a little bit because that was my first time being recognized. I was like, oh my God, that was the thing. So that was quite amusing to not even be recognized for the first time in New Zealand, but outside. And then, so it's at Lego conventions I've been to, people will recognize they'll see my sets. One guy I remember last year at the Auckland Brick Show saw my set. He's like, oh, this is cool. He's like, oh, it's you. You made this, didn't you? I was like, but yeah, no, I don't get recognized that often. In fact, at all. It's been maybe 3 or 4 times that it's happened ever. And it's always been at something Lego related. I can walk into the Lego store and walk out safely without getting mugged.
Everyone can because they just don't talk to people in the Lego store. In
Yeah,
Newmarket, they'd rather not deal with the customers in there.
I've actually recently built up a bit of a relationship with the Newmarket team. Their staff are lovely. Their manager's really nice. He's pretty chill with me being able to come into the store and film some content or puts things aside for me. So I really appreciate it from that standpoint. Filming in a Lego store is quite uncomfortable, though. I will give it that. I don't like filming in public. You really got to put on a brave face and just act like nobody's watching you.
Yeah, I bet. It's not the biggest store either to hide out in a corner, is it?
No. For the May 4th Star Wars reveal, the May reveal of the Star Wars sets, thankfully the Star Wars section is in the corner of the store, so I was able to hide back there. But the first video and the only other video I've done at that Lego store was me dressed up as a Lego employee, and I was literally at the counter trying to film my lines, and people thought I was an employee because the lines I was using, oh, can I grab your email? Can I grab a bag for you? And they're looking at me like, what? I'm like, oh, no. See the camera right there in front of you? That's for this. Please carry on. Oh, it was so hard and so embarrassing.
Handing you their purchases.
Yeah. Can I get this? I was like, talk to the guy next to me, please.
It's funny because how well I reckon that video came out really well as well. But I'm picturing it from your perspective as well of you're standing there and there's actually somebody right there watching you. Just makes it even funny. I reckon that could have been a good video as well, just the behind the scenes of the.
Yeah, I should have set up a behind the. Well, I mean that video is less than a minute and a half, but it took me a good 40 minutes to film my lines just because I was trying to find gaps where there was no one watching me or in front of me. And oh yeah, no, that was tough. Like I'm saying I'm a pretty confident guy, but something just happened that day where I was like, oh, I am feeling well out of my depth right here. But yeah, it all in the editing, it all came together great, thankfully, and they loved it, so they got me back for more.
So how far in advance are you doing content, or is it literally just as it comes and you just kind of put it up? Like, have you got a little bank ready to go because you're getting stuff early, or is it just like you know the vending machine? Is it kind of got it, made it, get it up?
The vending machine was definitely a quick turnaround. We actually got the vending machine was delayed. We got it the day before. No, when did I get it? I got it last week, as in this week. Sorry, it showed up on Monday for us, which was June 2nd. So day after release day, there was a big delay there with it showing up. So this was definitely I'm gonna build this and film my content with it straight away. But there's been some other things like the Sherlock Holmes book nook, for example. I got that, and then it was like 3 or 4 weeks before I did anything with it, just because I was doing other stuff. The long form videos I definitely sit on for a while and take my time with editing them. Like my Spaceman collection, that took me as well as trying to find the parts. But in total, the editing and collecting was like 3 or 4 months of work. So I'm really only doing it, even when filming and editing is both I'll do it when I feel like it type thing. Some things, some days I'm really feeling inspired and I can film and edit in the same day and release it the next day. Like my most recent videos, the Pixar lamps and the Spaceman stuff, they were all pretty quick turnarounds because I was just feeling really onto it and excited with these things. I was like, I want to get these out straight away so people can see them. But then other ones, I'm like, oh, take my time. I'll spend a few days on this or a few weeks on this. I try not to let it sit for too long, though. So I'm generally only working on one thing at a time. Like everything I've released now is all I've filmed. And now I'm working on a long form video. And that'll be my sole focus until that's released and I work on the next one.
Cool.
So I'm not sitting on a bank of content, no. I know a lot of people do. Like there'll be some creators who will be filming like 3 or 4 videos a day and then just slowly releasing them out. So I don't have a schedule. I just upload when I feel like it. So sometimes I might upload 3 times in a week and then I might not post for another 3 weeks, I try not to be too dormant, but yeah, no, I don't really have a structure, which is terrible as a creator. And that's like the one rule. I have a consistency, but I have zero, unfortunately. Whoopsie.
Giving the game away now. So we have a quick fire round to kind of wrap things up.
Ooh, I do love a quick fire.
So this is literally meant to just fire at it. Okay. So
cool.
Who's going to ask the questions for the quick fire round?
We'll just go one by one.
Okay.
Are we all answering them or is it just me?
Just you.
Just you.
Just you answering.
I'm in the hot seat.
Yep. Start with Jace.
All right. Worst Lego fail, like building, transporting, just a fail.
Oh my gosh. That as soon as you said that, I've already thought of it. At the end of the Auckland Brick Show. So hold on, let me start by saying when I moved from Wellington to Auckland, that was a 9-hour drive and I only had one set at a time. No, this isn't the bad part. I transported a whole shelf of modulars, no dramas at all. Crazy. I went to the Auckland Brick Show last year. I had almost all of this on display across 2 long tables. Brilliant show, went great. At the very end of it, I had a box perched on a table. There was a tablecloth underneath. Someone decided to pull the tablecloth. That entire box fell on the floor. It wasn't even my fault. And it was the end of the show too. I went through a whole 2 days with all these kids getting right up close and like touching things just for some adult to pull a tablecloth in a box of, it was the Up House, and two Bricklink modulars and the Fortnite bus, just a million pieces. And it took me 2 months to get back and actually build them because I just was so defeated. Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot. And he didn't even apologize. He's like, whoopsie. Bro,
there you go.
Come on,
Damn.
man. Yeah, so that was hard. I'm crying.
Is that me?
Yes,
That's
it's
you.
you.
Yeah,
Quick fire.
Jason only came up with one quick fire. This is meant to be quick.
Quick fire. Set the order.
Quick fire.
What is-
edit?
What is your favorite Lego color?
medium nougat, I think it's called. That the sitcom one, and what's on the detective's office. It's what I said it earlier. It really itches my brain. It's really nice, especially a masonry brick and medium nougat. That is good.
Or nugget for any of the Yellow Brick Road followers, because they wouldn't have heard what nougat is.
Oh, sorry, nugget, medium nugget, or
Yeah.
medium is the orange. I don't know what the heck it's
Nougat.
called.
Yeah.
Nougat, yeah,
Nougat.
nougat. It's a nice
What are
color.
they talking about?
I love it. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm ready.
I've
Yes,
asked one.
fire
What the
round.
hell
Did you only
is
have
going
one?
on?
Did you only have one?
I've got multiple, but I've asked one.
All
You
right,
can
okay.
ask one.
We'll do one at a time. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
Round
3.
robin, there we go.
Okay, base plates or mills plates?
Currently, everything I have is on base plates, but I do really want to transfer everything to mills. I'm just lazy, so I haven't done that yet. I really need to find the time to do it, or pay someone to do it for me. So, Jason, if you want to come to Auckland and do some mills building, feel free. But yeah, I would say base plates just because that's what I've got. Otherwise, I would have said mills if I could be bothered.
Do you have a favorite set?
I say this a lot, and I feel like I might be changing my mind soon. But at least as far as modulars go, the detective's office. That is a great modular building. Just ticks all the boxes for me. No notes. A non-modular set at the moment, it's probably the Pixar lamp. That is just a real nostalgia trip for me. Honestly, it's really cool. It's real clever how they built it. Pretty accurate to the lamp itself, I guess. I just wish I had a light brick. So I'm waiting for Lightmo Bricks to do something amazing and build a little light brick for it. I feel like that would just be the icing on the top of the cake. But yeah, that one is amazing in my eyes. I love it.
So is there like a white whale set, like something you haven't got yet, or a mock that you really want to do?
The Ghostbusters HQ modular. That one looks really cool. That one's really hard to find in New Zealand for a reasonable price, as most retired modulars are. I am still in the process of trying to collect every module. I've still got the first like 4, which are all retired and expensive and like nearly 20 years old to get. So like the town hall, the fire brigade, but Ghostbusters HQ has really caught my eye recently, and I think that's now my sole like focus for like the next big Lego set I want to get is that Ghostbusters HQ.
Worst set ever sent.
Worst set ever sent, as in what one Lego sent me.
Yep.
Oh boy. I don't. Okay. How do I beat around the bush and saying that every set that I've received I've liked because I've actually chosen to accept the ones that I like. They have offered me ones that I wasn't necessarily interested in that I declined, like the Spider-Man wave in January and the Creator wave. Some of those were cool, but they offer you the entire wave of sets. Like, say the Marvel range, there was like 10, 15 new sets. And I was like, there's maybe 2 of the sets in here that I really like, but the other 13 aren't my cup of tea. So I'm just going to decline this and buy the ones that I actually want. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say they've sent me a bad set, if I'm being honest. And that sounds like me like sucking them off and be like, oh no, Jacob's just a Lego shill. But I genuinely am only accepting the sets that look interesting to me, and I know I'm going to, well, hopefully like. And so far, every set that I've received, I have liked. Take that as a cop out if you want to, but
No,
No, it's good.
I mean,
no bad notes
we came
from
up
me.
with questions before we knew how it worked. So
True. I will say
I think
though, completely not land related at all, but if there was a set that I had to take off my shelf, if I wasn't such a shill for the modulars and having to collect all of them, I would throw the pet shop in the bin. It is just
Really?
not it for me. Yeah, I don't know. It's boring.
what does a pet shop look like? I can't remember that one. Is that the one with the text in the bricks?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It's cool. It's just my least favorite of the bunch. I don't know. It's especially the townhouse next to it. It's just empty and barren and boring, in my
Have you
opinion.
got the brick bank?
Yes,
Yeah,
and I
nice.
love the brick
Yeah.
bank. Brick bank's
Yeah,
just
brick-
over there. That's one of my
The
favorite.
brick bank is my favorite.
Yeah, that was my white whale after I got the detective's office. But yeah, I don't know. No offense to any pet shop lovers, but they're not mine. Not my cup of tea. But yeah.
Pet Shop was my first modular, so I don't know how I feel
Oh,
about that. No, What do you have? I'm sure as resellers, we're all wondering if you have the greengrocer.
No, I don't. But I do have a wanted list to part it out potentially one day.
That's an expensive part out.
Yeah, especially for those green bricks. I think there's some rebrickable models which use alternative pieces, or there's like remodified versions of them. Same with that in the cafe corner to like use newer parts that aren't as rare to find. But those are just sitting there for a rainy day type thing. But I know I don't. The oldest modular I have, I think, is the pet shop. Unless the Grand Emporium's older than that, I'm not too sure.
Is that Market Street next to your Sanctum I can't say that next word. Is that Market Street next to the Sanctum something or other?
No, that's the pet shop.
Is it?
Let me move my mic.
God, I can't. Oh yeah, it's the pet shop. Okay, I just saw the little bit of blue, and
it does look a bit like it. Yeah. No,
I went. And it was the mic was hiding it. I went straight to Market Street.
It does look a bit like Market Street, but no, it's yeah. I mean, it looks a little better with some Marvel characters sprawled all over it, and next to the other buildings, I must say, it does look okay. But yeah, on its own, I think I just built and I was like, that was just a little lackluster compared to the other ones I'd built. I think I was on a really good streak of a lot of the new modulars, so going to that, I think it just put a bad taste in my mouth. It was one of the older modulars that I got, so I was like, eh. So yeah, sorry.
It's all right. I'll forgive you.
I'm never coming back on this podcast, apparently. He's booted. He doesn't like the pet shop.
No. Amazing. That was perfect. That was
oh my God, my heart's racing. That was crazy. I'm so used to using a script, so improv and going off no script, I was like, oh, I'm sweating.
That was on point.
It was very good.
That was exactly
you must have been doing this for a while then, so
Yeah. You think I make videos for a living? It's funny actually. Just today, I was looking at buying a teleprompter because the process I go through just to record my videos sometimes is so grueling. I'm looking over where you guys are now. You're on my monitor where I normally have a script, so I'm looking over here, remembering the line, then looking back over here, stumble it. Oh, let me look again. And sometimes
I've seen that app that does it on screen whilst you're recording. From your phone?
No, I haven't. Oh, is that Vimeo?
No, there's an app. It's come up on my feed a few times. You literally just have your phone on a stand. So if you were recording off of your phone, even it will roll on screen like a teleprompt.
That's clever. No, I've not seen that.
Jacob's a bit
looking to camera.
Jacob stepped up from the filming from the phone. I think he's on
phone in the way, couldn't he?
The phone under my camera. It's not a bad shout, really. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think I'm going to go shopping for one tomorrow and see if there's any like ones that don't require using my phone, because sometimes I use that for things here. But yeah, good to know that there's apps for that. That makes total sense. Should have thought about that. But yeah. You'd be surprised how often I'm fumbling my lines. But anyway.
Nice.
Cool.
I'll send you send me your Bricklink username so I can put a coupon in your account. And if you ever find yourself coming to the Brick Shed, you can have a coupon.
I will.
I checked for Jacobs in New Zealand if they'd ordered, but no orders yet from you.
I'm so sorry. No, I don't think I have.
It's devastating.
I don't think I've actually made any Aussie orders yet, so maybe you guys could be my first Aussie orders. I'll be stopping by both your stores to collect something. Do you have a good minifigure range, or is it just
I got a good minifigure range.
Okay,
it's number 1 at the moment.
No, I'm not. Number 2.
What's this?
Number 2.
You got number 2.
Yeah, I can't keep this guy. He just will not let up. He will not let me. I'll upload. I put myself like 300 lots ahead of him, and I take one day off from uploading, and he's like 500 lots. He stops uploading once he's in number 1. He's just not letting me get past him.
Sounds like a troll, bro. No, does he even have these parts?
Yeah. Okay. I would argue that I am still number 1. This is not going in. I would argue that I am still number 1 because he lists damaged parts with comments. So he'll have 4 of the same part in different conditions. So I would argue that yes, I am the widest range in Australia. He can go,
Is this Brick Womble?
Yeah. Bloody Clinton.
Bloody
Is he in
Clinton.
WA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need
All
a
those
face off. You guys can meet each other
WA
face-
folk. Well, I'm excited. He's taking a year off soon. So, or a year that's doing a lot less Bricklink than he has been. So I'll have time to get well ahead. I'm 2,500 lots ahead of number 3. So they've got some work to get up. And I can put myself well in front, and hopefully nobody can catch up, and I can just stay there, and I can actually put the title into. I'm just waiting until I'm far enough ahead to be able to put the title into Bricklink and say Australia's widest range. I put it on my YouTube video, but
Hey, it sounds like you are one. At least you're up there. You're so close to number 1. You basically could have that as your title.
we hit it. We've
in-
hit it a couple.
Yeah. Who's the number 1 in New Zealand, Jason? Do you know?
It was this guy. I'm trying to think of his name. He's down in Wellington. He was over 1 million parts, and then he shut the store. Like, he was doing it. I think he was the only full-time seller, and now I think it's like Shaggy's Bricks or some other guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the one in Wellington?
Shaggy's Bricks.
Shaggy. Shaggy's Bricks. Yeah, I've bought off Shaggy's Brick before.
958,278.
Christchurch maybe, or down. There's not. I'm definitely number 2, I think, now in Wellington. Number 3. Sorry, number 3.
Congratulations. Let's go.
It was only about 10, so it's not really.
Where are
it's
you?
like me
Where are
getting
you in New Zealand?
Japanese at school, and there was 2 in the class.
Where were you in New Zealand rankings? Just out of curiosity.
15th, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Up there. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not too worried because, like, I mean, it's part time, and I
Of course.
mainly doing used. There's a lot of people who do new parts, so they can be doing big part outs and chucking stuff up. But I'm just kind of like trying to reinvest as it grows. And
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm not too fussed on the whole new versus old thing. Or new versus used, I should say. I just, if they've got the part, I'll take the part, unless it's like noted that it's seriously fucked. But yeah, no, I don't really care. Honestly, if they've got the part, I'll take it. Please.
I gotta give Richie some love. He is smashing us by item count. How close are you to 600,000 now?
I think it's like 596, and when I finish this one, it will be a little bit higher.
Brilliant.
But your Shaggy's Bricks is only doing 4 orders a day, which is the same as Brick Womble.
Are you tracking Shaggy's Bricks?
Oh, I'm using somebody's new tool that tells me live.
Ooh.
What is this?
I can't talk about it till next week.
Okay, right.
So I can see Jason's currently sitting at 18th.
18th now, is it?
Yeah.
Is that
In
lot
New
on?
Zealand?
It is in New Zealand. So I can check
Hold up.
every single country.
Wait, so what does it say about the brick shed on there?
Brick shed.
Tell me.
Do you want me to sort it by total orders, daily orders, items, total lots?
Well, daily orders, I suppose. I'm interested to know where it puts me there.
I'm actually interested in the orders one as well.
Daily orders, you are number 3.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the 2 that you already knew, so you're behind Brick Warehouse and Fantechnic, so it matches my
Yep.
tracking data.
Wow.
I had no
That's pretty
idea
good.
that Bricklink selling was so competitive. I feel like this should be in the podcast. Just censor all the names, but like I had no idea Bricklink selling.
Oh,
was
we
so
won't. We
competitive.
won't censor their names.
I tend to just bag everyone.
Oh god, no, that's so fascinating. Like I try not to get very competitive in the space, like especially when we're uploading the same stuff at the same embargo times. It's easy to be like, oh damn, they got more views than me in the first hour or something like that. But I really try not to let it get to me too much. Funnily enough, actually, with this whole Spaceman stuff, I had a couple of comments from someone saying that I was copying someone else who did it first. I'm like, actually, I don't think so because I don't have the set yet. But yeah, that was interesting. I don't get a lot of negative comments, but that was like, oh. And I went and checked out their content. I was like, oh, they're also a big classic Spaceman. So maybe he sent them over to me to be like, hey, hold on a second. That's always
Richie, just going back to there, where's your data coming from? Because I just went on the find.
I don't- Is he not allowed to say it?
He
He's not
can't
allowed
talk
to
about
say
it.
it.
He's embargoed. He's embargoed.
Like,
He's
what's
talking
it-
about it next week.
Is it all the stores or is it?
It's all the stores.
You're seeing stores that are currently shut then as well.
I don't know the question to that. I don't know the answer to that. I
Oh,
don't know how.
I'm 15
How long have you-
on Bricklink at the moment, so that's fine.
All right, it must be showing shut stores as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, there's definitely like a couple of bigger ones that seem to shut down quite a bit. So that's I'm kind of like, yeah, I feel like the people that I can see on there are where it should be. But there's only what, like 7 that are over 200,000 parts. So like, I don't think anyone's doing it full time. Even that Shaky's Bricks, like he can't be with the amount of orders they're getting.
This is very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll be
So
thinking about
why are
this
you
all
not
night.
allowed to talk about it until next week? Has it been like
They'll-
publicly launched or something next week and you're a beta?
Yeah. It's a beta
Oh.
test, which gives you return on investment on sell through and everything.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, is this? Oh, hang on.
No, it's not. It's not Steve.
No. There was another person that I. Yeah. Okay. I might know. Okay. All right. Interesting. I didn't know that did that.
Yes, I think Shannon and I are testing it.
Ooh.
Yeah, the only thing I track is just like how many parts, but I'm like, we don't have enough orders coming in that it even makes a difference. I don't think for me to even be like, oh my gosh, the person who's there. All I do know is that it doesn't exponentially grow the higher you get. Like some of the stores that have got like 3 times the number of parts and stuff as me are getting the same number of orders.
Yeah, I mean, Noah gets the same daily orders as the second, third, and fourth placed. It's only Bricks Warehouse that are getting that next step up, and they're twice as big as everyone else, right?
Yeah. There's no.
Who's the biggest Bricklink seller in the world? Are they based in the US?
by item or lot count?
Oh, whatever.
So by variety or total parts?
Total parts.
Total Parts is a German seller. He's got over 19 million parts. I don't know what his...
Steinwelt.
There we go. That's the one. I was looking at it the other day because I was making goals to pass that.
Total lots is Verona Bricks in Italy.
But
how many?
But they're not consolidated. Consolidated is US. There's a US store just above the Great Brick Lab. They are the biggest consolidated store.
Brickmasters Jacks.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, they're the biggest consolidated. Yeah.
Goodness gracious me.
Yeah, all the German sellers must get like dirt cheap pricing and stuff.
They
can go to the Lego
warehouse.
House, can't they?
They have them.
It's like a Deutschland one I've seen. Who was it when somebody went there, like the Duck Bricks guys, and did
Duck
like
Bricks, yeah.
It was actually quite an interesting one. I don't watch much of his stuff, but like that was like literally I would just be running out the shop like with handfuls of.
But you'd just be stuck with parts that don't sell. Like I'm guessing that guy who has 19 million parts, I'm sure he does good orders, but for 19 million parts, if you compare it to a store that has 1 million parts that has more variety, I'm guessing it's going to be, that 19 million parts is not helping him.
No.
Yeah, I saw a video from Emma Soros, who's one of the bigger Lego YouTubers, and she went to this place where it's just bins of all these parts, and some parts I'd never seen before, or some like color variations that aren't available anywhere else. It was so fascinating to see, and it all looked pretty reasonably priced as well. I mean, they can just walk down the road to this place, basically. It seems, whereas we have to pay 2 flights to get there.
Jacob, do you need any tires?
Fucking hell. My God, bro. This is why Lego's the biggest tire manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because
Jason's the biggest stockholder.
He gets
Noah.
every week.
Like, what? I used to guess for a second, then I was like, no, you said my name. Yeah.
Come on, mate.
No,
Sorry.
guess. But you want me to guess? Just in that.
No, he was just winding up. No, because Noah's got all these tires that we're trying to sell, and
It's all right.
no one's buying.
Oh,
Have you been
they all
filling
on
orders?
Bricklink?
That's what I want to know.
I'm just getting excited for the game.
Those tires all on Bricklink. I'll just go and check your item of number.
I don't think I've sold one of these tires in a little while. So
Strange.
Well,
I
I'm
sell
sorry,
tires all the time.
probably too expensive.
No, I don't need any tires. There was a point where I was
make an F1, make a track with all the F1 cars. Do it with the tire walls. Like that's what you should do. Tire wall, massive. That's what I would do if I was
And then-
buying my tires.
Oh my god, you're giving me great ideas, and this is a great excuse to buy some tires. No, I've got.
Yeah, see, with all of this, yeah.
I've got one of them. I've got it sitting under my TV, McLaren one. Hopefully, the correct team. I don't know what everyone else supports, but yeah, my girlfriend's a big McLaren fan, so we have the Speed Champs McLaren and the CMF McLaren just sitting under our TV, and we use that as like people put crystals in the under the moon to charge them. We put the McLaren under the TV to charge the win. Something like that.
No, Red Bull.
There was a point where I probably would have needed tires actually, because a couple of years ago I tried to mock together the big red car, and I was like, oh, this would be so fun to do, but I never quite figured out how to use Brick Studio at that point, so I gave up. But then I would have needed 4 tires, so I would have taken 4 off your hands.
Better than none.
Nah,
just
if you only need 4, buy them from somebody else. Mine are probably too expensive.
It wouldn't be worth the shipping, God.
I thought you were giving him. I thought you were giving one away free, so he was only need to buy 3.
Oh my
Nah, I'm
God.
hoarding.
You
I'm
need
a
to-
hoarder, Richie.
Buy 3, get
Hoarder.
one.
Hoarding tires.
Never thought I would.
It's to go towards the 19 million parts.
Just list them all individually as slightly damaged.
Oh, is that how?
I'm going to make the move though.
Oh right, yeah. We've got to go. People have to go. People have places to be. Yeah.
I need to
Of
get
course.
ready.
Get back into normal rhythm because my wife and daughter arrive back from China tomorrow, and I'm going to be getting woken up at the wee hours of the morning. So,
Oh yeah. Well, lovely to meet you guys. Lovely to chat. I look forward to this episode going out. I'll give it a share. And
Thanks
yeah,
for your time.
thanks
feel free
for
to have
that.
me anytime.
Appreciate it.
No worries.
Cheers,
We'll talk
Jacob.
soon.
Cheers.
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 Catch you later.
Well, it seems we have come to another close of another episode. A brilliant one at that. Special guest Jacob, Kiwi Modulars. Jason went and buggered off because he didn't want to stick around. He just left. He just disconnected.
Kiwis.
I know. Kiwis. Richie says it. I said it. You heard it here. Maybe we'll have to boot him off the podcast. Maybe this is it. If anyone wants to replace Jason as the 3rd member of the Brick by Brick podcast, applications are in the description below. No, leave them in the comments. And of course, if you have any questions for future podcasts, please leave them in the comments below. As we always say, we'll try to theme future podcasts around one topic and then hopefully answer a few of your questions as well. But once again, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you all in the next one. Have a good night.